Today, we're gonna find out what happens when two firefighters link up with an experienced real estate investor. All that and more on today's episode. Chris, so you kind of introduced Tribevest to everybody and real estate investing as a whole.
When I got in, I sort of went and I jumped in with both feet. Bought like a couple apartment buildings, a bunch of single family homes. So got about 70 units or so before the idea of investing together with friends on projects sort of, coalesced. Then it was sort of funny. I mean, I recommended Tribevest as a way for people to invest together to Jeff, and then Jeff talked to Kevin about it. They took off. They're just like, let's just do this.
Jeff and I worked together as firefighters, and I was working a shift with him one day. And at the beginning of the shift, he said, hey, by the end of this shift, let's buy a property and start an LLC. And I said, I'm in, let's do this. Neither one of us really knew where to go from there, but Tribevest kind of gave us a little bit of a path and a foundation to start that. So by the end of the shift, we had the LLC created through Tribevest, but 2 weeks later, we did have our first property.
Oh my gosh, wow. Are you all in California? Everybody's in California. So what made you want to invest over here in the Midwest?
I mean, a duplex in where we live would be 1.5 million. From a cash flow perspective, it's really, we're trying to follow primarily a BRRRR strategy. Because of that, the numbers just make so much sense in the Midwest.
Oh yeah, you mentioned the BRRRR model. For those that don't know, the BRRRR model is an acronym. It's BRRRR. Buy, rehab, rent out, refinance, and then repeat the process. What's the next step for your tribe or for future tribes that you might start?
You invest in the market, and Kevin and I are both firefighter paramedics and interact with nurses quite a bit in emergency rooms, and was hearing about traveling nurses doing like 3-month contracts and looking for housing in different areas, and really having those interactions with the nurses and kind of understanding what they're looking for. It's like, that'd be pretty cool to provide a safe, comfortable home environment for these nurses that are working so hard day in, day out.
And Cleveland is a sort of a perfect storm for that, because Cleveland's main industry is health. It's a funny coincidence, and maybe one reason why we get along. Like, I grew up around firefighters because my father was a firefighter.
Firefighting's our passion. We're fortunate enough to get into that profession. It's a way of life versus a career, and it's amazing.
Every call we go on, we go as a crew, and everybody has a job on that crew. And I think we've so far done a pretty good job of bringing that over into our investing. Chris has his roles, Jeff has his roles, and I have mine. And there's a level of accountability where we don't want to let each other down.
I'd been doing it just by myself for a couple of years, and it was satisfying in a way, but like not being able to share those like victories. Like last night, we're like, toasted a beer together over, kind of the growth that we've had.
I think our primary focus was we want to have fun in doing this. Like, yes, we want to make money, and yes, we want to hold each other accountable, but first things first, we want to have fun.
Give me some insight on how you feel Tribevest has helped your investment journey.
It kind of gave us some boundaries and helped us formalize our LLCs, and by actually setting up the LLC and pulling our funds together, it's kind of like, well, now we need to buy something. It changed it from let's talk about it to let's actually put this into motion and get a property.
The most difficult part of a project like this, particularly a partnership, is where do you start? Groups of friends getting together who don't have a lot of investment background. I think it's almost essential. It cuts the amount of time. As they said, I mean, what would have taken weeks and weeks of talking to different people and trying to, carve out, little chunks of information, what's real and what's not. Something like Tribevest is basically essential.
With the speed that Tribevest was able to move, being able to invest all this money with this platform that you just learned about. What made you feel safe in doing that?
By just researching your guys' platform and kind of reading through some of the testimonials, it gave us the confidence that we needed. As far as the speed that Tribevest moved at, I think it was more beneficial and validating than anything else, because we wanted to make this happen quicker.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you all. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Wow, that was a great story. I really want to say thank you to those guys for their time and sharing their story. Also, just a special thank you to Kevin and Jeff and all the first responders all around the country for all your service. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel to see even more amazing content.